Hi, I'm Mark Gaylor, Sony Global Imaging Ambassador. When people are getting into interchangeable lens photography for the first time, they often ask me, do I need to consider purchasing anything else if I'm going to travel with this camera? There are a few things that make the whole craft and creative process of photography a little less frustrating and a little bit more manageable, and so I thought I'd cover some of those items, and I'll try and keep the recommendations to low cost items. Okay, so the first thing, you have your interchangeable lens camera, you have your kit lens. Perhaps one of the things that I would consider, given that you've bought into an interchangeable lens camera, one of my next purchases would actually be another lens. Now, I've created a separate movie that goes through a range of appropriate lenses for these Sony mirrorless cameras, so you might want to check that out. Possibly I will go for something with extra reach in my kit bag, or something with a very wide aperture so I can get some beautiful background bokeh going. Okay, one of the things that I would never travel without, however, is a spare battery. Let's just take out a little a case that I can wear on my belt when I'm traveling, and inside this case I'm going to have access to something that I never leave home without, and that is a spare battery. I don't want to be caught halfway through the day with no charge. It's annoying for mobile phones, it's annoying for mirrorless cameras. They're small cameras, they're small batteries, so you might find that if you're shooting all day, you'll definitely want one, maybe even two of these spare batteries charged and ready to go. It only takes 5 seconds to change these batteries, so it's no big deal. And if I don't have one on my belt, I'll certainly have one in my pocket, so that I'm never caught short. Okay, so another thing is, if you, especially with these cameras that can shoot at 8 and 11 frames per second, is you might actually fill your memory card up and you'll need a backup. Okay, so always traveling with a spare memory card as well. Having a little memory card in your pack is also great, because I have been caught out where the memory card that was in the camera is in the computer back home. So having that spare memory card does prevent a journey for no purpose, i.e. you get there but you can't take any pictures. So that is a great little item always to keep on you. You can see this camera that I have, I've not put the strap that comes in the box on these cameras. I actually prefer a different style of strap. I have one here. This one takes like 3 or 4 seconds to attach. Especially when you're not making a movie, you're trying to do it. Okay, and so this one is a strap that I can put around my wrist, because sometimes I don't want to hang the camera around my neck. I just want to be able to put it down by my side, and if I'm bumped on public transport in the street, the camera doesn't end up on the concrete floor. Okay, so that is a great little strap, and you can find a range of wrist straps. I especially like the ones that mount to the bottom of the camera rather than to the top. Okay, so that is certainly a purchase worth considering. I'll just pop that in the bag. If you prefer to switch between a wrist strap and a neck strap, there is a range of straps that again will attach to the base of the camera. Again, in just 4 or 5 seconds, you've got a neck strap that can be on this camera. This one is also what's called a sling strap. It can be tightened when the camera is around your neck. You can wear it by your side, and quite quickly it stretches up, and then because the strap is too long, you just tighten it, and then the camera comes back close to the body. So these are the straps that I actually prefer. Again, not strictly a neck strap, it's a sling strap, and that is certainly something that I prefer to work with if I'm not working with the wrist strap. Okay, so a couple more things that we can look at on my table. Okay, you've got multiple batteries. You can only charge one in the body at any one time. If you've used all 2 or 3 batteries, you want to be able to charge two at the same time. And so one of the sensible purchases, I feel, is even though you can charge the battery in the camera, I would always take a battery charger with me. Okay, they don't take up a lot of room, and just ensures that when you wake up the next morning, both batteries are charged and you're ready for the next day on location. Okay, at the end of every day, I want to make sure that the camera is kept clean. And one of the things that I'll be doing is, if I've been changing the lens, is just remove the lens and just with this rocket blower, just blow out the camera so we don't get any dust sitting on the surface of the lens. And the longer it stays on that lens, the more likely it is to adhere, and the more likely it is you're probably going to have to look at a sensor clean down the track. So end of each day, just blow out the camera, so again it's ready for the next day's shoot. Doesn't take up any room in the bag, and no moving parts, nothing to go wrong. That's a complete no-brainer. Okay, so we've talked about, well, we're talking about taking care of the camera. If you're a little bit rough on your cameras, what I do recommend is, and you can buy them online, Sony also sell them, is screen protectors. Okay, you don't want to be having anything going on to the back of that LCD screen and scratching it. Okay, so some people are very good with their cameras, but again, if you're throwing other things on top of your camera in your camera bag, covering that screen from new or before it gets scratched is definitely something that I would recommend. And usually they can be purchased for less than $10. So that is definitely worth doing if you haven't already considered that. They're applied in a no-nonsense fashion. These are actually glass. Okay, so hardened, toughened glass. So they're not like a plastic screen protector you put on your phone. So they are very durable pieces of glass to put on and protect your camera. Okay, we've got a couple more things in the bag. Again, keeping it small, keeping it light, keeping it portable. And in that frame is I've got a little Manfrotto Pixie. Okay, again, this can be attached to the camera 5 or 10 seconds and we're ready to go. A lot of people will say, isn't that a little bit small for a tripod? But when they're telling me that, they actually haven't traveled with their tripod because it's big, it's heavy, and they're just not with it. There's no reason to leave home with a tripod that's going to be that small. And it's amazing, it's quite quickly to maneuver in position as well. Just one press, ball head, and in position, and you're ready to put that down on the ground. You don't have to get on the ground, because the lovely thing about these mirrorless cameras is we've got a flip screen, so the camera can be on the beach, but your head doesn't have to be on the beach as well. And a lot of my landscape shots are actually photographed very low to bring that foreground up into view. Okay, if you did want something a little bit larger, there are still tripods you can actually get inside a messenger bag. This one isn't a whole lot larger, but you can see it's tough, it's durable. This is a Me photo. You can get them with bigger legs. This one isn't very tall, again, a little bit taller than this one, but you can get them up in ever increasing sizes. The important thing is to purchase a tripod that you won't be leaving at home. Okay, so a couple more things that I've got, or at least one more thing I've got in this bag, is a flash. Okay, so some people would like to do flash because the ambient light is too low, and this is the perfect kit for that. It swivels, it bounces, so you don't have to fire flash directly. Yes, we've got little pop-up flash on some of these cameras, but they're not very powerful. And if we need to bounce the flash for more flattering light, then this is certainly something that I would consider. This is my favorite Sony flash. It's a HVL-F45RM, and it's one of the newer ones with the radio remote in it. So it's got a radio receiver inside this flash, so you can actually buy a commander for the hot shoe and even get into off-camera flash work. We can put that through a lighting modifier such as an umbrella or a softbox, and really start getting creative with our interchangeable lens photography. And again, It's all going into a little bag that's very portable, and so we don't feel like we have to sort of take huge amounts of gear. These typically will be in the side pockets or maybe back at the hotel, but I'm traveling with an interchangeable lens camera, probably carrying far less than 3 kilos or a couple of pounds, and I'm never going to be tired with those extras always on board. Okay, you can catch up with me at markgaylor.com. and just give me a thumbs up if the movie was useful, and I'll catch you online next time.